Today, history was made in a South African courtroom. Julius Malema, one of the most powerful and controversial politicians in the country, has been found guilty. Guilty of breaking the law, guilty of reckless behavior with a firearm, guilty of putting people in danger. Now, imagine the tension in that courtroom. Imagine the whispers, the eyes glued on every move, the heavy silence as the magistrate spoke. What does this verdict mean for Malema, for his party, the economic freedom fighters, and for all of South Africa? Sit tight, because in this video, we are going to break down everything from the beginning of this case all the way to today. And trust me, you don't want to miss a second. Hello and welcome back to Mzansi Screen Time, the channel where we explore South Africa's biggest and most dramatic news stories in a way that makes sense and keeps you informed. Today, we are diving into a story that has shaken the political landscape, Julius Malema being found guilty in court. This is not just another headline. This is a story about power, politics, law, and accountability all colliding in one courtroom. In this video, we will go through the story step by step, starting from the day that changed everything, moving through the years of investigation and courtroom drama to today's shocking verdicts and what could happen next. By the end of this video, you will understand not just the legal side of this case, but the emotional and political impact it carries for the country. Let's go back to July 28th, 2018, a day that started everything. Malema was at the EFF's 5th anniversary rally at Sisa Dukasi Stadium in Mdinsane. The stadium was packed. Thousands of people were there cheering, waving flags, listening to speeches full of energy and fire. And then, in front of everyone, Malema allegedly raised a firearm and fired it into the air. Imagine the crowd's shock, the flashing cameras, the fear, the excitement, all happening at the same time. This moment, caught on video, quickly spread across social media. Some people saw it as a bold political statement. Others saw it as dangerous, reckless, and illegal. After this event, the law caught up. AfriForum, a civil society organization, laid charges, arguing that firing a gun in public was not a performance or theater, but a serious criminal act. Malema and his former bodyguard, Snyman, faced charges including unlawful possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, firing a gun in public, and reckless endangerment. From the start, the defense claimed that what was fired was not a real gun or that no live ammunition was used. They argued that there was doubt, that it was impossible to prove Malema's guilt beyond a shadow of a doubt. The prosecution, on the other hand, said the evidence was clear. Witnesses, forensic reports, and authenticated video footage from the rally all showed the truth. This case was not just about that day in 2018. It became about whether anyone, no matter how powerful, can break the law and be held accountable. Fast forward to the trial, which has been going on for years with twists, delays, and tense moments. In recent days, the courtroom drama came to a peak. Magistrate Twyneth Olivier presided over the case, carefully listening to testimony, reviewing videos, and examining the evidence. Imagine sitting there, hearing the details of that day, how the firearm was handled, the witnesses who described the fear in the crowd, the forensic experts explaining the gun's discharge. Every moment carried weight, every word mattered. Malema's bodyguard, Snyman, faced charges as well, but in the final ruling, the court found him not guilty on several key counts, separating his actions from Malema's. The magistrate made it clear that the viral social media videos were not enough to prove guilt in court. Only authenticated, verifiable footage and solid evidence counted. And in the end, the court concluded that Malema did discharge a firearm in public, putting people in danger, and that the defense did not provide enough doubt to overturn the charges. The conviction included unlawful possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, firing in public, failing to take precautions, and reckless endangerment. The sentencing, however, has been postponed to January 23, 2026, and Malema remains out on bail for now. So, today, Julius Malema stands convicted. This verdict is historic and emotional. Picture the faces in that courtroom, some shocked, some satisfied, some angry. It is a moment that will be remembered not just for the person convicted, but for what it symbolizes, that no one is above the law. Political analysts are already debating what this means for Malema, for the EFF, and for South African politics as a whole. The Democratic Alliance has already reacted, calling the verdict proof that EFF politics are rooted in recklessness and danger. They argue that firing live rounds at a rally is not a performance, it is a crime. Meanwhile, Malema's supporters might see this as a political attack, claiming the courts are being used to suppress opposition voices. The battle for public opinion is already fierce, and social media is full of heated debates. Legal experts also point out that this is not the end. The defense will likely appeal, challenging the conviction in higher courts, which could change the outcome before the final sentencing. Looking forward, there are several possible outcomes. Malema could face a harsh sentence, which might weaken his political influence and change the balance of power in South African politics. He could receive a lighter or suspended sentence, which would allow him to continue his work while acknowledging the conviction. Or the case could go through appeals, delaying consequences and keeping him politically active. Politically, this case may redefine the EFF's identity, either rallying supporters or causing fractures. Beyond politics, it tests the justice system itself, whether it treats all citizens equally regardless of power or influence. One thing is clear, this verdict is more than a legal case. It is a moment of reckoning, a reflection of the tension between political power, law, and accountability. It is a story that will be debated for years to come, and it is a moment that reminds us that actions, especially reckless ones, have consequences, even for those at the top. So, what do you think? Will this verdict change Julius Malema's political future? Will the EFF survive this moment unscathed, or will cracks begin to appear? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found this breakdown helpful, give this video a like, share it, and subscribe to Mzansi Screen Time so you never miss our deep dives into South Africa's most important stories. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and keep watching Mzansi Screen Time.